Good morning everyone, guess where I am today? I'm at London King's Cross. Look what I've got right in front of me, it's 86259, also known as E3137, this lovely Class 86 electric locomotive, built in 1965. Here she is at London King's Cross. She's just arrived on a charter train service from Newcastle. Why are you man, the train is coming down from Newcastle? So there's its nameplate, there's the Les Ross nameplate, after the gentleman who owns it, no less. And here's the original 1960s British Railways line and wheel, or the Ferryton dartboard. This view is looking towards the number 1 end, with the pantograph. So what we'll do, we'll walk up to the other end of the train, here in platform 1 at London King's Cross. Woo! I'm absolutely frumped tonight because it's good to see this locomotive back again. So there she is, this is 86259 in her original 1965 British Railways electric blue livery with the white cab windows and the small yellow warning panels, and it's coupled to these Mark II carriages, these lovely Riviera Trains Mark II carriages. So here we are at platform 1, it's coming up to almost 5 to midnight on this lovely Saturday night in October 2025. So come with me as we'll go to the other end of the train where there's a Class 47 at the other end. So I'll show you some of these lovely carriages from the 1970s. These are Mark IIe or Mark IIF air-conditioned carriages, painted in the original British Rail intercity blue and grey livery from the mid to late 1970s and to the early to mid 80s. This is the livery I grew up with, boys and girls. So this is a view inside the second class or standard class accommodation of these Mark IID aircons, Mark IIF air-conditioned carriages. Woo! Absolutely love these carriages, and I love the first class carriages even more because they're so, oh god, I'm so frumped tonight, so pardon me if I got a bit over enthusiastic, but these things have to be shared with the world. So this carriage here, this is M6176, letter M standing for the London Midland region, which these carriages would have worked on a few yards down the road over at London Euston on the express services from Euston up to Manchester and Glasgow and Liverpool, etc. So I've got a couple of these Mark II aircons now in the West Coast Railways maroon livery, which does look quite nice to be honest. But this maroon livery was never applied to these Mark IIs originally, so the livery is not prototypical. The real livery is this blue and grey livery here. So now we're coming up to the first class carriages, as denoted by the number 1, and the slightly more luxurious seating, as you can see on this carriage here. So this is the first class Mark IIF air-conditioned carriages, and I absolutely love these carriages. And the easy way you can tell that these are the first class carriages is obviously you've got number 1 on the doors there. But the other reason that gives the game away is you've got this little yellow line that goes above the windows. So above the windows, the blue line above the windows is a second class carriage, but the yellow line above the windows, as you can see here, that's the first class carriage. And also the seats are a bit more comfortable as well. Now over here we've got this lovely maroon liveried Mark I carriage, number 99712. So this is an example of a British Railways Mark I. Now the British Railways Mark I carriages, they were built between 1951 and 1963, and the Mark II carriages were built between 1971 and 1975. So this carriage that's here, this maroon carriage, is a Mark I carriage which would have been built in the late 50s, early 60s. And then of course you've got these Mark IIF air-conditioned carriages which were built in the early to mid 70s. Oh, pardon me, that's my fish and chips talking. Train spotter's meal, fish and chips. Just down the road. There you are, you've got the 1970s intercity branding there. Just how I remember it, boys and girls. City to city, heart to heart, intercity, that's the start. And on this end of the train we have a Class 47 diesel locomotive to shunt it back. So this is a Class 47, this is 47812 in the West Coast Railways maroon livery. 47812 there. Gurgling away to itself, as duffs do. Woo! Woo! So this is the number 2 end cab of 47812, and over here we've got an LNER Azuma in the form of 800-203, so we've got Class 800 there. Boring Japanese plastic nonsense. But this is a Class 47 in all its finery here, so this is 47812 in its West Coast Railways maroon livery, which does look quite smart, but at night it looks kind of sombre. So that's 47812, and that's going to take the train back up the East Coast main line up to Bounds Green or to Peterborough or somewhere to get it cleaned and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, this is King's Cross, boys and girls, coming up to midnight on this Saturday night in October 2025. I'm the only train spotter here. Haha, rock and roll. Woo! Class 47 and double. Woo! I'm insane! I'm insane! Woo! But the main pièce de résistance in this carriage are these lovely Mark II carriages. Oh, lovely Mark II air-conditioned carriages. These first-class carriages, I absolutely adore these carriages. When I was a kid, I was absolutely obsessed with these carriages because, as you know, I'm quite a strange individual. But my therapist has told me I might get over it at some point, who knows. So yeah, this is 47812. This view is from the locomotive's number 1 end. And you can always tell the number 1 end of a Class 47 because this is where the engine is. You see these two louvers on the roof? That means that's the number 1 end, that's where the main engine is. So that's the 47 I've shown in detail. So we're going to walk back down towards the southern end of King's Cross at platform 1. I'm the only train spotter in the village, isn't it? So this carriage is M3390. So yeah, there's not all that many enthusiasts today. I think they've all gone home, or it's past their bedtime, or who knows. Anyway, it's Saturday night. I've got a nice lie-in to look forward to tomorrow. There's that Mark I trailer standard, or tourist standard open, in its West Coast Railways maroon livery, which is actually based on the old British Railways livery of the late 1950s in the maroon. So I've got some more of these Mark II aircons in their original British Rail blue and grey livery with the yellow stripe above the windows, denoting first class accommodation. Obvs. Yeah, so these are Mark II Fs. Look at that, what a lovely interior. Designed in the days when trains were meant to be travelled on and passenger comfort was the priority, not profits like on today's railways. But that's another story for another time. So we're heading back down platform 1 at King's Cross. And no, we're not going to platform 9 3/4 because that doesn't exist. Neither does triple-decker buses or Hogwarts School. Sorry guys, I spoiled your illusion now, haven't I? LOLs! Sorry again guys, if I keep belching I do apologise, it's just that I've had a nice meal tonight. And when you sort of have a nice meal, you sort of belch. So this is M6176 again. So my constant belching and flatulence, hopefully that won't put you off my videos. It just means that I've had something nice to eat tonight. I'd rather be doing that than throwing up in a telephone box down a ditch somewhere. Now this carriage, this is standard open M6051. Woo! And now we're coming up to the bottom end of the train where 86259 is. So we've got this brake standard open, which is a BSO carriage, which is this carriage here. So So this carriage here, this carries all the guards' accommodation and luggage and stuff, so you've got the monkey cages in here somewhere. There's the monkey cages, as we used to call them back in the day. There they are. And they've got the most important consignment of all the bottled waters. Oh look, there's even got a headboard in here, look. A headboard there, the Royal Duchy. It's not the Royal Ducky, it's the Royal Duchy. Oh, ducky bows. So they've got the most important consignment in the monkey cages there. Oh look, there's my reflection. I'm a cheeky little bastard. Yes, I am. There's the guards' accommodation there. And then there's the rest of the passenger accommodation on this carriage. Look at that. Look at that 1970s interior. You just want to sit down and relax and open up your latest looking annual. So finally we come back to 86259. This beautiful work of locomotive art, the Class 86. The mighty Class 86, no less. So this is its tops number here, which is obviously 86259. The number it received back in 1974. And there's its nameplate, Les Ross, after its owner, Les Ross. And there's its 1960s British Railways line and wheel. Very heraldic crest, that is. Iconic and heraldic. Just like me, haha. And then finally we've just got the other end. This is its original number, E3137. And along with a little Doncaster Works plate. British Railways Doncaster, 1965. Electrical equipment by Associated Electrical Industries and the English Electric Company Limited. And then alongside we've got the Azuma unit, so we've got the old and the new. So we've got trains of the British trains of the 1960s and the 2020s side by side here at London King's Cross. So very shortly I'm going to end this video. It's only 12 minutes long. It's not that long really, but oh, she's charging up, she's charging up. So yeah, so there's a lovely parting shots of 86259. Charging away to herself before she leaves up for Peterborough or wherever she's going to go tonight. There's a view of the whole train in platform 1 at London King's Cross underneath this iconic barrelled roof. Where's the clock? There's the clock. And it's 6 minutes past midnight. So what I'll do, I'll just leave you with a parting shot of 86259 along with the clock here at London King's Cross. Look at that. How about that for an iconic setting? An iconic electric locomotive at an iconic London railway station. And you've got the old and the new side by side there. And you've got some more of the new stuff over there. Bland, depressing and boring, not really my type of trains at all. But hey ho, needs must. So I'll leave you with this parting shot of 86259 at London King's Cross. Hope you're well, hope everyone's keeping out of trouble, hope everyone's keeping out of mischief. Hope you enjoy this vlog. I'll see you out on YouTube at some point. And I shall wish you a good evening, good night, good morning, wherever. And I shall say ta for the like.